Now let us discuss electric potential due to various types of objects and various type of charge distribution. So first is a charge ring. So we have a charge ring over here and the ring is having Q charge on it, which is symmetrically distributed over the entire ring. We have to get the potential at this point P. So we have to find the potential, and this point is located at small r distance from the center of the ring, and ring is having a radius of capital R. Now what I can do is, so integration V is basically what? If I take a small charge over here and let us call it dq, then I will say due to this dq, the distance of this point charge is basically this, and this makes a right angle triangle, so we can use a Pythagoras theorem and get this distance. So this is nothing but under root r square plus small r square, we are calling it z, so it is nothing but k q, which is dq over here, by r, and this is basically z, and we just have to integrate it because this is just the potential due to this small charge, not the entire charge. Now once we integrate, we will get the entire thing. Now if instead of this dq I am choosing this dq, okay, another charge, now this dq is also having the same distance. Potential is a scalar quantity, so we can directly add all the like potential due to this charge, this small point charge, this small point charge, and all of them. So I will say it is nothing but k, like constant I am taking out of the integration, by z. So now z was what? Distance of this dq. Now whether I take this dq or this, these all ring, this ring is lying in this plane, so the distance is nothing but this z only, that is under root capital R square plus small r square, so z is also a constant. And it is simply integration of dq, which is basically sum of all such dq, which will give me the total charge on the ring, and hence I will get that potential due to a ring is k, and this thing is capital Q by z, and eventually what is z? Kq by root over r square plus small r square. So this is the formula of potential due to a charge ring. Now where capital R is the radius of the ring and small r is the distance from the center of the point where we have to get the potential. Now next object is electric potential due to charged disk at a point on its axis. So here we have a charged disk, and this charged disk is having the radius capital R, and we have to get a potential at this point P, which is located at small r distance. Now what I am going to do is, I am going at x distance and taking this ring. So here let us say sigma is the surface charge density of the charged disk, and it is again uniformly charged disk. So I will say that what is the charge on this ring? So charge on this ring I am calling dq. So how do we get charge? We get charge per unit area, which is sigma into area of this ring. Now area of this ring is nothing but 2 pi x, that is the perimeter, into width, which is nothing but dx. So this is my charge dq on the ring. Now due to this ring, we can write the potential at point P. So I'll say that very small potential due to this ring is nothing but kq by r, right? So k, and what is the charge? Charge is dq. What is the distance? So which distance do we use? We use this distance, z. So kq by z, and z is what? Under root x square plus r square. Again I used Pythagoras to get this distance, and now I simply have to say that once I integrate, I will get the total potential. So integration dv gives me the total potential at point P. And what about this? So I'm just writing the parameters. So first is k, which is 1 upon 4 pi epsilon naught. The dq, which is basically sigma into 2 pi x dx, divide by root over x square plus r square. What is our variable over here? Here x is varying, and x is varying from where to where? X changes from 0 to entire capital R. Once that x changes from 0 to r, we get the full disk, right? So limit I am putting on dx, so x is changing and limit is 0 to capital R. Now just cancel out whatever we can. So this is 2, right? 2 pi n times 2, and we can take constant out, so which is sigma is a constant, this 2 and epsilon naught is a constant, and we are just left with x dx divided by under root x square plus r square, and we have 0 to r is the limit. Now here I have to use the substitution for this integration. This integration I am just saying that let x square plus r square be t square. So I can say that 2x dx is nothing but 2t dt, and then I can cancel this. So x dx is nothing but t dt. So this thing is basically I am doing it over here. So it is integration of t dt and this thing root. So this thing root is nothing but root over t squared. So simply t. So this cancels and integration dt is t. So I am just saying that it is sigma by 2 epsilon naught, and this entire thing is nothing but t. And what about t? T is what? T is the root of this x square plus r square. And what is the limit on x? 0 to r. So put r first. I'll get sigma by 2 epsilon naught root over r square plus small r square minus, put 0 instead of x, you will get root over small r square, which is simply small r. And this is the formula for potential at small r distance, and the disk is having a radius of capital R. So you need to remember this formula. Here sigma is the surface charge density of the disk, 2 epsilon naught is 2 epsilon naught, and this is under root r square plus small r square. So small r is the distance and the capital R is the radius of the disk, and root of that and minus just the radius of the distance, this distance from the center of the disk and the point on the axis. So there is a special case. Let us discuss this special case when this small r is way bigger than capital R. So if this r is very very large, then this is my disk, r is way too much, and this r is very small when compared to that. So basically I can treat the disk as a point charge. So right, so this will just behave as a point charge, like a point charge is kept at r distance. So potential at this point P should be nothing but, ideally we are expecting that it will be same as point charge, and what will be that? Potential due to point charge is kq by r. So q is the charge on this. So let us say charge on this is q by distance, and distance is small r. And what about q? Q is what? Q is basically k. Charge on this is nothing but surface charge density, that is charge per unit area into area. Area is nothing but pi r square by small r. And what about k? K is 1 upon 4 pi epsilon naught. So we are expecting that we will get something like this. So let us check, like are we getting something like this from this formula? So if we neglect this capital R, right? So then what do we get? So here what I am doing is, I am saying that in this bracket take small r square common, okay? So once you take small r square common, you are left with, this will be 1 plus this r square will become r square by small r square. An entire thing raised to half is there. So this will be 1 and this will be like half will be here minus small r. So here for this bracket I can apply binomial approximation, and binomial approximation says that 1 plus x raised to power n can be written as 1 plus nx, given that this x is very small. So this is very small when compared to 1, because the small r is way bigger than capital R. So I can basically I can apply binomial approximation. So this becomes r into 1 plus r square by 2r square. This half just came and multiply over here, and then minus r. So this r into 1 minus r. So this is r minus r is gone, and we get this thing, right? And this r will cancel one of the r over here. So we are left with, so this entire thing is becoming, so sigma by 2 epsilon naught is already there, and this entire bracket is becoming what? R square by 2 small r. And check it out, is it same as that? So if you see, sigma r square by 4 epsilon naught r, sigma r square by 4 epsilon naught r. So we can say that this disk will behave as a point charge if we are keeping it, we are considering a point which is very far, then the disk, uniformly charged disk, can be treated as a point charge, and the formula for potential is nothing but kq by r. So, and q is what? Q is the charge on this disk, which is surface charge density into area. Area is pi r square, surface charge density is sigma. Next object is electric potential due to a shell of uniform radius r, and it is having charge q, and q is uniformly distributed over this shell. So first thing is that we consider two situations. If our point P is outside, then how to get potential over there? So we say that basic definition of the potential is nothing but integration E dot dx, or we can say integration E dx and minus. Minus is because we are going to, what is like, how do we define the potential? Potential is work done per unit charge by bringing it from infinity to this particular point P. So we are going to bring a point charge, and basically eventually formula comes to be this only. Work done is per unit charge is nothing but F dr, right? F dot dx, and per unit charge, so we got E dot dx, and negative of that, so will give us the potential at this point. So now this is the formula. I just have to, what I need to do is, I'll just go at a random distance x, and I will write electric field over there. So why I'm writing electric field over there? Due to this, because see, I'm taking this spherical shell, and I am moving a charge from infinity to all the way up to here at till this point, right? So what I need to do is, I need to check when it was at random distance x, what was how much electric field over there, and then I was moving it this way. So work done is like negative, as you can see. So now I will simply write minus integration of electric field at x distance is nothing but, due to spherical shell for a point outside, electric field is given by kq by x squared. So this is electric field at x distance from the center of here. And now I just have to write the value in the formula. And what about limit on the x? X is basically changing from infinity to all the way up to this distance, which is nothing but the distance of point P, which is r. So I will say that limit is infinity to r. Now just integrate it and we will get our answer. So minus kq is the constant, I took it outside. Now integration of 1 by x square is nothing but minus 1 by x, and what I can do is, limit is infinity to r, and now this thing is basically, this bracket is becoming minus 1 by r plus 1 by infinity. So this term is anyway 0, and this is minus 1 by r. When it multiplies with this, we get kq by r. So potential due to a spherical shell at a point which is outside it is kq by r, which is same as the point charge. So we can say that the formula is identical if there was a point charge. So this basically spherical shell having charge capital Q will give you the same potential as the point charge, because its electric field is also similar. So that's the logic over here. If electric field is similar, then potential should also be similar for a point outside. Now next is what if we are talking about a point which is inside? So if we are talking about a point like over here, then we'll apply the same formula. So it will be basically v is equal to integration of minus dx, and it just, I am breaking it in two parts. I am saying it is nothing but it is this, and limit part I am breaking in two parts. I will be saying that first I have to bring a charge from infinity to all this distance to this new point q. Let's keep it a, because q is the charge on the ring, so let's not get confused. And I have to bring it all the way up to here, and this point is having r distance. Okay, so I have to, my idea is to get potential at point A. This is what I need to know. Now, I will say that for that, to get the potential at point A, bring a charge from all the way up to infinity to this particular point. So I am saying just integrate it in two parts. So infinity to that radius thingy, like all the way up to here, and then radius r to the small r. Now what do we get? So this is the same thing which we were doing in the previous case. So we get this thing is nothing but kq by capital R. What about this? Here the electric field, this E, see this E was kq by x squared. So I went at x distance and wrote, because we were talking about a point outside. But when we are integrating from capital R to this, then I have to write electric field in this region. And electric field inside a spherical shell is nothing but 0. So this thing will be 0, and when I integrate this, I'll get 0 only. So eventually the potential at this point A is same as the potential at the surface. So idea is that once you, so potential is same as the potential at the surface, and surface we can apply the same formula as outside. So the graph is like continuous. We'll talk about the graph also. So I was saying that potential at any point which is inside the spherical shell is basically same as the surface. Reason is, once we bring the charge from infinity to the surface, then once we enter into the spherical shell, we don't have to do any more work. So there is no work, so there is no work done per unit charge also, right? So if we are not doing any more work, then potential won't increase anymore. So potential will increase all the way up to here. then potential won't increase for this region. So potential will remain same because there is no electric field against which we can do some work. So potential is nothing but kq by r. Capital R is the radius of the spherical shell, and this is the potential at the surface, and the potential remains throughout. For inside, potential remains same, and it is at any point. You can take this point, this point, this point, this point. Potential at all of this is nothing but kq by r only. Now let us discuss the graph. So graph says that for a point outside, it was what? It was kq by small r. So it is proportional to 1 by r. So we are having this type of graph. And for a point which is inside, okay, this is r is equal to r. So this is basically inside, and this part, this region says it is outside. Okay, so outside it is this, and inside it is just a constant surface. We can put capital R in this formula also, we get kq by r. So this is q by r. So, and that inside it is same throughout, right? So it is inside, it is just kq by r. So this is the graph of potential versus distance small r from the center of the spherical shell. Now, electric potential due to non-conducting charge sphere. Okay, what about a conductor? If we are talking about a conductor, then we'll talk later about the conductor also, the properties. If we have a conductor, then entire charge basically lies on the surface only. So conductor can be treated as the same as the conductor can be treated same as the spherical shell, because the charge is lying just over the surface. So shell and conductor uniformly just charged conductor is basically conductor sphere or shell, both are basically same. So we are talking about a non-conducting charge sphere. So here we have a non-conducting charge sphere. So here like the charge is there in the entire sphere throughout, it's distributed throughout the volume. So now if again I have to do the same thing, I have to get the potential at an external point. So I will again say that I will just go at x distance, and I will say that potential at a point P is given by nothing but integration of E dx and negative of that. And for a point outside, electric field again is written by kq by x square, because the uniformly or basically charged conductor or non-conductor or spherical shell, all of them behaves as a point charge for a point which is outside. Okay, for a point which is outside. So we are talking about an external point. So this can be written as kq by x square. Q is the total charge on this sphere, and eventually kq by x square and then dx. And when I integrate from x is equal to infinity to all the way up to the distance which point P is having from the center of this sphere, I get the same formula. It is again kq by r, kq by small r. So this is the formula for electric potential at a point P which is situated at small r distance. Again, this is same as point charge for just outside, because outside field distribution is also same. Now inside, if we are talking about a point which is over here. So again I am going to do the same thing. What I am going to do is, let us say that I have to get the potential at this point A, which is having a distance r from the center, and now I have to get the potential at this point A. So I will say that potential is nothing but integration E dot dx, but I am going to do it in two parts. One is all the way up to infinity to the surface, and second is surface to the that distance which is small r. Like the infinity to all the way up to here, capital R is the radius, and from here to here I have to integrate in two parts. But here this electric field I will be using for a outside, and this electric field will be I will be using at a distance x inside here. So first let us find how much is the electric field E at a distance x from the center. So if we have to get the electric field E over here, what I am going to do is I am going to split it in two parts. So we know that this outer part is behaving as a uniformly conducting shell, or you can even split it in further shells. So due to each shell, the electric field at this point lies inside for all of this region. I am talking about this region. So you can make all these shell, and due to them the electric field will be 0, and they will not contribute any of the electric field, right? So electric field is 0 due to this region. And what about the inner region? Inner region is just like a charge sphere, but the point, this point is basically lying outside. So I have to write electric field. First I need to get how much is the charge on this inner region. So I will say that, and this inner region is having a radius of x. Right? Now, the total charge on this is q. So I will say charge on this is nothing but total charge, that is q, divided by total volume, because charge is distributed volume wise. So q dash is nothing but total charge upon total volume, which is 4 by 3 pi r cube, times volume of this thing. So volume of the required volume on which we need the charge is nothing but 4 by 3 pi x cube. And eventually 4 by 3 pi is gone and we get q x cube by r cube. And formula for electric field is what? K q dash by r square, and distance is like x square. So I need to put this electric field over here, right? So that I can get internal thing. So this thing we are already aware that this thing comes to be what? KQ by capital R. And what about this? This let us integrate. So once we integrate, what are we getting? It is integration of E. So what is E? K Q dash, which is nothing but Q x cube divided by R cube. So this is E, K Q dash, this is just Q dash by x square. So K Q dash by x square dx. And eventually this x square will cancel this. And variable is x, so it is integration x dx, so x square by 2, and limit on that is capital R to small r. K cube by small r minus integration of this K cube by R cube. All of these are constant. Integration of x dx is x square by 2. Put the limit is r to small r. And once you insert the limit, what do you get? You get r square by 2 minus capital R square by 2. So I am getting kq. I am taking kq by r cube common. In fact, kq by 2 r cube we can take common. So here we are left with r square, like when you remultiply 2r square. When you remultiply this and this, you will get this term minus. And this I took common and 2 also I took common. So I am left with r square minus r square. But there is a minus outside, so this will become plus. And eventually this is what? 2r square plus r square, that is 3r square minus r square. So our formula is kq 3r square minus 2 minus just r square, small r square, by 2r cube. So capital R is the radius and r is the distance, and this distance should be definitely like the r is less than capital R, because we are talking about a point which is an internal point. The point is lying inside the spherical non-conducting charge sphere, right? Now this is k q by 2r cube, 3r square minus r square. Now these are the graphs. So for an external point the formula was this, and for an internal point formula was this. What if I am talking about the surface? So there are some important points. First is the surface. So for this surface can be treated as internal point as well as external point. Let's just check whether the graph is continuous or not. Here we get the kq by r if we put small r is equal to r. And if we put small r is equal to r over here, then what do we get? V is equal to, this is k q by 2r cube, and 3r square minus r square is 2r square. Like again I am putting small r is equal to capital R. So 2 and 2 is gone. This is gone. So we are just getting kq by r. So at r, basically at the boundary of the sphere, it is nothing but it is continuous, right? The graph is continuous. So outside it is having the same tendency, but inside we know that it is what? This is the graph. So against r it is a quadratic. So and quadratic and a downward parabola. So this is part of the downward parabola and this is a continuous. So at this point is also important. We need to remember that some of the points which we should remember is that potential at center of a non-conducting charge sphere having charge capital Q is nothing but, if you put R is equal to 0 in this, then we get 3 by 2 kq by R. So we can say it is 1.5 times the potential at the surface. So this is 3 by 2 kq by R. So it is not visible. I'll just say 4 pi epsilon naught, and this is 3 by 2. So at the surface it is kq by R, and at the center it is 1.5 times or 3 by 2 times kq by r.